Live on Twitch, just setting up the...
Check.
This is behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, baby. I'm knocking down water bottles and shit, bro.
It's a little chaotic.
All
So
right.
good flowing.
Feels a little tight right here, too, bro.
It's all right.
Hey man, you want to open up a little?
I got to get the
I know,
picture
but
of the
it's all right.
TV. I
It's
can't,
okay.
you know?
It's not even the logo anymore.
There we
so.
go.
All right, let's do this. Episode 92. I got Robbie, Bryan, Ben from Prime Performance and Wellness. I've known these two guys for forever, bro. And Ben, I've seen you around, man, and got to know you from them. And you guys kind of just started. I feel like out of nowhere, you guys decided we're just going to start a gym. You guys are in your mid-20s. What made you guys take that leap, bro? Because that's not... I don't think that's normal, bro. I think that's
not an
pretty
easy
risky.
leap.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, this is for you.
But
I'll let Bryan go first.
yeah,
You can take it.
so the way we started this, we actually met through another facility, and we all did well there. Just having each of our individual tasks, and I think we're very different and diverse on how we do business. Robbie has his skill sets, Ben has his, and I have mine. So there was a little bit of a falling out there, and we decided that we actually ended up getting new jobs. Ben and I did valet. Robbie was actually bussing at Mitch's, and we were just grinding. And then it was actually Ben that came up to us and was like, "Hey, like we have this opportunity to go into this new space. Like, what do you guys think?" And at first, I was kind of skeptical about it personally, but I thought about it a little bit more. Like, we did some talking together, and we decided that we're all just really good at this already, so why not start something new and have our own brand and our own company in this. And we all care about people, and this is the industry that we're all really good at, so we decided why not.
What is your guys' primary focus? What do you, as Prime and Performance and Wellness, what is your guys'
I think for me, it's just like building a community. Like we see a lot of times too, especially like everybody's seen this COVID pandemic kind of shut people off and kind of go into their own shell. But I think a big part of it is, okay, how can we give these people the power to change their lives on their own? It's like, what can we give to them to like, hey, you could take control of your life now. And I know Robbie and Ben will probably have a little bit different perspective, but that's for sure top one for me.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I always want to say like strength first, right? Because we're like meatheads and like we're always like we're like performance driven. You know what I mean, right? So it's like for me, I'm always going to judge how well we're doing during things based upon like how people's results are going, right? If people are receiving results that they want, then we're doing our job right. But I think we've come to realize that like it is so much about what Bryan said about community, because we have people that are coming here that this is like the biggest breath of fresh air in their entire day. And it's such a struggle for them to be able to have time for themselves, and they make this 1 hour here.
This is almost their therapy.
This is almost their
exactly.
therapy. In
We're like
fact, we
therapists.
shout out to Amy Crichton. She always referred to us as her therapists. She always says, "My therapists are stronger than yours," because like for her, this is therapeutic to her. It's not only for the aspect of getting stronger, which we're always going to be like overhyping, but when you see like the impact that it has mentally on our clients, it's like, damn, this is the real reason we do this, because we have people that are going through and. You know, without even getting into the details, like we just hear about what these people personally are going through, and it's like wow, and they're still coming up, waking up at 4:30 to come to 5 a.m. class. Like it just shows the commitment. So it's like all appreciation to our clients for really just digging deep and like giving us a reason. Like, oh, I'm tired, but like this person's going through this at home and going through multiple jobs, and his son is sick, and you know, multiple different like situations with family and arguments and this and that. It's like, but they still come here. So I think that just speaks a lot of volume for us.
We're definitely an outlet for people, but we enjoy to do it and care about these people. So, but
what was the transition? Because all three of you guys played sports, correct? Yeah. What was the transition like for you guys going from athletes, going from I don't know this adrenaline rush if you're playing football or you're fucking boxing or whatever it is? What was it a tough transition for you to decide I'm gonna just help people out and kind of take a step back and be in the behind the scenes, I guess?
So I think at first for me it was like actually pretty rough. Like I loved basketball so much, and then there was a point where I couldn't do it, right? But I think sports like translates to anything in life so well, and that's why we continually push people like, hey, like join a sport. Like it's really good for these these youth kids, our youth guys, like, do sport for sure, because it shows you so much of, okay, how does, like, your real life work? Like, clearly, like, you don't want to lose in life, and you have to work hard for what you want, and that's what happens in sports. So at first, I would say, yeah, like, it was a difficult transition just because I love the sport so much, and I know a lot of people could be,
Benefit.
feel the same way on that. But I think it's just the habits of the sport. So it always comes back to, like, okay, well, I'm not in a sport now, but what can I do to be successful? Like, how can I help the most amount of people, right? And I think it comes down to, like, that big goal is, like, oh, I'm trying to be the best I can in basketball.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, how can I be the best in this business? How can I be the best business partners to these
Just
two?
using what you learn.
Yeah,
And
but I really think it comes down to habits. It's like, okay, what habits did I create in my sport, and how did I do well? Like, now, how do I transition it into other aspects of my life?
got you.
Yeah.
Especially you, dude. You went.
Yeah.
You had, if I'm right, you had a scholarship for
Yeah.
football, right?
I played, Azusa Pacific.
Azusa Pacific. So you have.
Dog.
Were you at some point? Was it like your whole identity, football?
It was, but I think I did a really good job, without like patting myself on the back, of like preparing myself for like, dude, this will be over very soon. So like, I was on your podcast before talking about my like 50-pound weight loss. Like, in my opinion, like that was me defining myself in a way that was not football, right? Like, I've been big my whole life. Like, now this is my new identity. Now, it wasn't so much that I wanted the limelight as much, and I think Brian will probably like totally agree with this, but like, me, Ben, Brian, I can think about like Michael Avina, Brian Mello, like all my closest teammates. Like, I felt like, and I know it's like we hear this all the time, but like I felt like we had such a strong work ethic. Like, we were like, you throw us in the meat grinder and just churn us up, dude. Like, we love that stuff.
That is
right?
so. It's pretty wild because I was just the couple years before you
Yeah.
guys, and we were the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, we were the guys that were just fucking
comes in
smoking all the
waves.
time.
Yeah.
Didn't give a,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was kind of crazy. It went from that team to you guys were like in the playoffs. You guys almost like
and we were number one in conference, and like
just killing it.
I think we had a good breed of animals, but like that was my standard, right? So like I'm like, oh, everybody is dog in the weight room, right? Everybody is like on time to everything. Everybody's all these things. Everyone takes pride in what they do, and then it's like now I come back and I'm dealing with youth and high school kids now, and I'm like so frustrated at how it's like they're not like how we used to be. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we used to go to
Yeah.
kinetics at 6 a.m. From kinetics, then we would go to the weight room at the school. From the weight room at the school, we would go to our old gym called Dynamics, and we would do like more speed stuff there. And then sometimes we'd even circle
many
back around at
workouts.
like 3 or 4 o'clock,
Didn't even
and we
make
would get
sense,
another
but
stuff.
you still
It didn't
do
make
it.
sense, but we were like, oh, dude, it's like summer. All I'm doing is football and lifting, so like I'm just gonna do that really well. And now it's like, oh, dude, well now I really want to like play video games, and I want to be a streamer, and I want to do all these things. And it's like, okay, for sure, I'm not even gonna like harp on that. I think that everyone has goals, and there are people that are successful in all those different outlets, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, it's the adjustment was hard because it was never a thought of I'm never gonna be a streamer, or I'm never gonna be like a professional video game player, right? Like
Yeah.
that was not a thought process.
That was just fun.
It was
a
just fun. And so now you see that now. So part of me gets frustrated because not because I need to be in the limelight or anything, but I'm like, dude, do you like? I'm like, want to shake these kids sometimes. I'm like, dude, do you like? Are you not
Yeah.
getting that you need to practice to get better? Like it's not like rocket science.
Yeah.
Hey, but the unit that we have in our classes, they do really well.
And
on
they've
that.
come
They
such a
understand
long
that.
way.
Yeah.
And 1 year, man, like it's been almost exactly 1 year to date. Right? We're probably like first
Yeah.
week of
Yeah,
July.
this month was the
We started
beginning, right? The camp.
in July, yeah.
In July, I think we started camp in July. So like
Last
almost
year.
1 full year. And some of these kids, man, it's like
Dude, it's
They have come
night and
so-
day.
Progress is incredible.
It's
What's the
incredible.
focus of your guys' camp?
So we have a few different camps that we've run. Like right now, we're about to run one for strictly football players in the next 2 weeks, right, Ben?
Yeah, but just posted it today, so you better check that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, it's on Instagram. You can check that out. But for all of our PDLQ or Diablos, any of the football programs out here in the Valley, we're going to be running something specifically from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And what we're going to really, and I think the one thing that makes us a little bit different is that a lot of people want to be like, oh, you're doing this to make you better at football. I'm here to make you a better athlete.
All around.
If you're going to be just a better athlete in general, and I'm just teaching you how to be stronger, not specifically in football, because this drill will correlate to football, but like, no, you just being strong and being able to do this, 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 and this will make you a more versatile athlete, which therefore will make you a better athlete in your sport, like football or baseball, whatever the case may be. So it's not like, hey, we're doing this drill, we're doing this lateral shuffle, because this represents like you on the bases. Like, no, you're doing a lateral shuffle because you need to work on your lateral agility because it'll make you better as an athlete. Like, simple as that.
Bases, football,
Yeah.
basketball,
Yeah.
every
It's all the same.
every
It's
It's all the
sport.
same.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, though, their programs will be different. Like, we have baseball players. Like, we have a few college guys and about to be professionals that are currently with us right now. And, like, some of them are jacked up, like, super tied up here, right? Because baseball players are always in this position. Dominance to one side. So, like, yeah, we have to kind of change things for them so that they're getting all the help they can get to make them better. But generally speaking, for youth, it's like, dude, just keep it super simple and teach them how to be strong.
Exactly. That's two different groups.
Simplicity.
The youth is you're just trying to get them as good as athletes
Yeah.
as they can be, and once they get older and they're getting focused
Right.
more on
Yeah,
one
then-
sport, then
Then you
obviously
tune it in a
know.
little
Right.
bit.
And we're not trying to skip the most important part, which is the foundation. Like, we at first, I think we were kind of bummed because like we were trying to get like a lot of high school athletes last summer, and we were just like reaching out to these kids like, dude, we'll help you, like we'll help you, like come to us, and we weren't really getting much love back from them. But what I realized is when we got all of our youth kids, it was like, oh, this is actually way better because now we're establishing the foundation.
Yes.
If I take a junior, no offense, it's not saying that a junior is worthless, but if I get a junior, I only get 2 years tops. 1 year, essentially, right? Because he's
Yeah.
going to go into his senior season. He might not play anything after.
half a year because
Maybe
you're gonna be
half.
at school
Yeah.
training,
Right.
too.
So it's like all these different components, and now it's like, oh, and now they're in 7th grade. Well, now I have 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. I got 4 years to prep them
We
for
got
the
plenty of
biggest
time,
year.
yeah.
Plenty of time, right? And so that's why it's like, okay, now we're making like a culture and a tradition here.
Yeah, you can see
Right?
the full process.
Full
from-
process. And not to mention, like, these kids, it's so funny. Our kids are so well behaved. Not like by choice all the time, but because like we run our
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No,
Right?
they-
Yeah,
Like, we run it
not
like
my
that.
choice all the time.
No,
It's
they,
a tight
they know
ship.
then
How
they
do
have to
dirt
behave.
balls?
But
Yeah.
to tell me if I'm wrong though, like I feel like when new kids come into the class, it's like they just follow in. Like they just know,
Yeah.
right? Like we have our leaders, we have that, and that's the coolest thing about
Well,
establishing.
that goes
the
back
culture.
to like you're talking about your guys' football team, just the work ethic you guys had. It's kind of like you said, the culture. If you guys got a good
Yeah.
culture, if there's a new kid coming in, bro,
Yeah.
even if he's an idiot,
Yeah.
he gets in, he's gonna feel real stupid if
Yeah.
he acts dumb and everybody else is like, bro, what are you doing, bro? I'm trying
Yeah.
to win championships. You
Yeah,
know? Like,
totally.
Yeah, like,
It
I
sets
don't-
the bar high, and I think too, we the last facility we were at, we had a kid who was 6 years old. His name was Damien. At the time, he was 6, and at first, like Ben brings him over to me, and he's like, "Hey, dude, we got a new guy, new kid or toddler, and his name is Damien. Like, we're gonna see
New
how
kid or toddler.
you know, we're gonna see how he goes today." And I was like, "Ben, I don't know. We'll see how it goes." But this kid was such a good listener, so I was not gonna let him into class. And we had to modify some things for him because, like, a 6-year-old just, you know, can't really do a lot of things that a 12-year-old could do, right? But man, he was such a good listener, and just by like not letting him like kind of telling him to do everything else that everyone else was doing for the most part, that raised his standards so far, right? Like
Yeah.
the kids will only go up to the standard that you set for them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like we set the bar high, and they'll get there. Now we don't like always like, oh, failure, you're a loser. It's just like, hey, you need to get better. You need to work on these things,
Yeah.
time, patience, all those things. You know,
It's
it'll come
the
together.
sky's the limit, bro. I've seen it even with my own son, bro. I have my 4-year-old on my first and second grade football team, bro, and he's catching
Nice,
touchdowns.
dude.
He's 4, dude.
Awesome.
It's like you're like, what
Yeah.
the, you know?
Well, you see it too.
He's
They
in
talk-
preschool.
They
He's a
talk
go-getter.
about it with
He's a go-getter.
Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Like that dude was playing with kids 2 or 3 years younger than him his whole life, and then you watch him like come right out of college, like straight into the NBA, and then of course like reaching like superstardom. So like, and that's what his dad has always said. Like Jason playing up and like having to be around bigger kids is what made him a
Yeah,
better
2
athlete.
years older.
2 years older,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, and we have a few kids that are currently doing that, and I always tell parents like, dude, good for you guys. Like, let them struggle, let them fail a little bit. Like, it'll be the best
They'll
thing for
learn.
them.
Yeah, because then once you get to high school, bro, all the kids are your age, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Could be 3 years older than you.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. They could be, but then
Could
once you get to senior year, bro, they're all your age or younger, and
Yeah.
you're like, bro, I was playing kids 4 years older than me. I'm gonna fuck all you guys.
Yeah,
man.
you better be the dog at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, exactly. How? Because I know you guys said the high school, it was tough for you guys in the beginning to get the high school kids support. How do you feel like the community as a whole has supported you guys? Like, how'd you guys market yourselves? How'd you guys get out
feel
there?
like
Because
this
you
is-
guys are busy as
Yeah,
shit,
that's
honestly. I
definitely
see you
true.
guys consistently. It's not like you guys have one class a day or
Right.
something. You guys are
We're busy, yeah.
all day long. You guys
yeah.
have a full
Yeah.
schedule. So,
Well, I think Ben should answer this
Yeah,
one
it's
because Ben
definitely
is the
Ben
one who
question.
does like
Yeah.
a marketing.
He's
You gotta
He
flip
does
it
all the
around.
marketing. He does
Yeah.
all that. So he
Alright,
should.
so I would say for me, it's more of just like, so the word of mouth. For business, it's more of, also trying to build that relationship like with the customer.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's like, so they will feel like you also don't care. So it's like if you build that relationship with them and like build that trust with them, like we feel like they will dial in.
Yeah.
Because if you are like, I'm a shit trainer, like you don't also pay.
You're just trying to get paid. You're just trying to make the money. You're not
exactly.
going to be.
Yeah. It's like, it's so not about that. It's like it's for me. It's like being on IG all the time, every day. Like if you have a questions, call me. Like if you have so like problems, like call me. But it's
And Ben kills.
yeah. So it's like being
every
there for
day.
the customer. Like yes, like we're I'm a gym, but it's like we're so like
Definitely more than that.
yeah.
It feels
we're
like it more, at
exactly. Like we're more like therapists to people. So it's like we're so like we're here for, so not just for
Provide multiple services.
exactly, multiple services.
Not
for
just a gym. Yeah.
moms, athletes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect, actually. Moms, you guys, dude, I see all these women here, bro, and that's
everyone.
That's crazy because you guys don't have any women trainers, So there's obviously a reason. They gotta trust you guys, bro. You gotta be.
Lexi,
it's not.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Because
To add on to what Ben said too, I think we do a really good job of like the word of mouth he was talking about. Like when people come in, like they know they're gonna get taken care of.
Yeah.
And even in the sense of like selling something, right? Like in my mind, I never sell anything because I just tell people what's needed to get them out of pain or what's needed to like go into the group class, right? So it's never like a selling point. It's like, what do you need? Like, what's the problem? And
how was that? Learning how to give somebody a number, like a price, how much this is gonna cost. Like, was that tough?
It's hard
in the
at first
beginning?
when you're trying to get off the
Yeah.
ground. When
It's
you're trying
hard
to
at
get rolling,
first,
you're trying to be like so like, dude, I'll help you out. Like
Yeah.
but I
you don't want to
can't help
lowball
everybody.
yourself.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah, exactly. And I know we struggle with that with the
yeah.
athletes too, because like obviously we want to help them out, but also like there has to be reciprocation, right? If you just come in here for free, you're probably not going to value it. Because free stuff tends to not, people don't find value in that. So that's one thing
They
that we
abuse
found
it.
very early. People will abuse it.
Yeah.
if
that's
it's
a
free.
good call, bro. And that was nice. That was a good.
But you know what, too? To kind of comment, keep talking about like what Ben was talking about with social media. It's so funny because like I was just thinking about it, like thinking about how much easier it is now for people to reach out to us,
Literally.
knowing that they can go on Instagram and they follow us, and then it says right there that Prime Performance and Wellness is live. Like it's got the green mark. It's active, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
that you could send a message to Ben right now. You know he's there, and Ben is so punctual. Like he is there all the time. Like any questions that are asked.
So good that Robbie and I don't even
Don't
have to
even
think
need to
about
touch
it. We're like, what
Instagram.
happened?
We just get
There's
a
more
notification.
people coming in.
By the time
Thanks,
I check
Ben.
it, it's already been sent
Yeah.
and received, handled. And I think it's such an easier way of doing business now. Like Ben
Yeah.
doesn't have to do very many phone calls at all. People just, hey, what's up with this? Like they'll just swipe up on a story. Like they finally have been convinced that we are what they'd like to come and try out. And then it's just super easy for Ben to be like, yeah, just come in at 5 or 6 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever it is, and we'll get you started. And it's just such a more like personable way. And not to mention too, I think that the social media has allowed people to get really deep into knowing what we're doing all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they already
Literally
see
everything.
exactly
They see
what
everything.
happens in the gym. Yeah.
Everything. And that's what we want them. We want them to know, like, there's none of this is a scam here. We don't want any part of this to not be seen. We want you to see full on whatever it is what's going on in this gym here so that you can feel very comfortable before making a decision to come in and ultimately commit to us. You know what I mean?
How do you guys feel about social media as a whole and just in general? Not even just the gym. How do you feel?
I
You
hate
feel
it
like-
sometimes.
Yeah.
This dude, he's
That's
on,
how I feel,
he's
bro.
on it.
Yeah.
It's evil, bro. Like you got people like going, I don't know. There's like a whole,
Yeah.
so like dark side of social media
Yes.
that people see every day, and it's just like
Exactly.
the world right now is going kind of crazy in my mind.
And
So
that's
it's
what I think it
like,
is.
so it's also
that-
driven by social media.
Yeah, that kind of fucks up a lot of people as they see this whole divided world on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
But
It's
then
like you see all the good parts, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of not all the bad parts. Sometimes.
But then you come out, bro. You come out of social media and you're in the real world, and I don't really see too many people.
You don't see
attacking
people talking
You
down.
know, like I'm
Yeah.
not. And that's where I'm at. I don't know everywhere
Yeah.
else,
You
right?
wouldn't- you
But
wouldn't say that to my face, dude.
yeah, right. Bro, yeah, exactly, bro. People are cussing people out as
Yeah.
they see
I
you.
know.
They're like, never
But
mind.
speaking particularly like in the current time, like without even putting any bias towards like what side you're on, like think about what just happened this weekend with like Roe versus Wade, and then all of a sudden like you see how people attack people
Yes.
on social media for differences in opinions, and it's like, dude, I got different opinions on training too. I got a lot of different opinions on things that I think are very personal and very important. But like, hey, if this is how you believe in these things, that's fine. But I just think like Brian said, like you just would never say this to this person in person.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
never say it like that. And I think that outlet has gotten people to be pretty awful at communicating, both in terms of like unable to do it in person and also just having way too much courage that they shouldn't have behind a screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
People need-
keyboard
yeah.
warriors.
yes.
People definitely need to be okay
Twitter
with,
fingers,
with
dude.
a different thought process too.
Yeah.
So you can't like, oh, I don't like this person because they think that way.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we're meant to all think different
And
ways.
that's what's
right?
crazy is
Right.
that's
100%.
at some point sometimes that's pushed by like the super left or whatever is we need to be
Inclusive.
inclusive of everybody. But then you're white, so
Right.
fuck you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really understand.
I know, dude. Straight up.
Bro, but
Oh man.
I just think we should get back to just not talking about people's political views
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
you know? Like, bro, don't throw it out there, man. Roe versus
Well,
Wade.
especially
like,
too, we're in a gym, right? Like I don't even want it to be brought up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I'm like,
yeah.
bro, I know that we got people over
Yeah,
here.
'cause
I
you
know we
got
got people over
girls
here.
there.
We got
Yeah.
girls here. You know,
So
we got
many
some.
girls
We got
in
like
the class.
older
Bro,
dads.
I
like,
don't even.
Yeah.
It's
Such a
not even my
dynamic-
spot to talk about.
Dude, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, dude, please come here to work out and be part of a community. Like, if you want to talk politics, like, just hang outside the door and do it. You know what I mean? Because it just creates so many problems, and I just think that people are now judging people based upon their political preference or perspective, and it's just
And
not what
most
I'm
people,
about.
bro,
Yeah.
I feel like most people aren't even fucking voting.
No, they're
so
not,
they got
yeah.
these political views. They're talking shit to these other people, and they didn't
Yeah.
even take the time to vote, bro. I didn't take the time to vote. That's why I don't really care either way, bro. I didn't take the time. I didn't put the effort in, so I just think it's kind of dumb.
Well, it'll
man, to
figure
get
itself
so-
out regardless.
Yeah,
You know what I
bro.
mean? Yeah,
Exactly.
it'll figure itself out. But regardless, it's cool too, though, because like in a gym, you get to, and this is, I think, I heard this like quote the other day. It's like, you, as a personal trainer or any type of coach, like you really have to learn how to be a chameleon. Like you have to like blend in with your environment. Like
Yeah.
we have so many people from so many different like walks of life, so many different perspectives, so many current life situations that are differing from A to B to C. And so it really just teaches you, like, being in this environment, that I'm like, oh man, like, they have a really good point of view, even though I probably didn't think of it that way,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you know them personally now. It's not just a person behind a screen. I am attached to that person. Like, I know them. I know their family, right? And so when they give you these different opinions, you become so less critical of it, right? Like, that's just what I've come to realize being in this industry.
How do you stay focused, you guys, all three of you guys, and grounded coming to the gym every day? You know, how do you guys stay on top of your game, not get fucking tired of it? Like,
Yeah.
what keeps you guys continuing to push forward? Because you guys, even the way you guys
Also
work out
discipline, I would
people,
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, discipline for sure.
even the way you guys, yeah, discipline. Even the way you guys work out people, I see it's not just basic lifts. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, like you're trying to make them athletic, more athletic as a whole. Even if it's more flexibility, it's just different lifts that most people aren't doing.
Always
you know?
trying to switch it up for them, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, always trying to give them a different approach.
I think it's, for me, it all comes down to the goals. It's like, well, why are you working so hard for this? Well, it's because like we have this goal in mind, right? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more like, how can we create this community of people and really build like an empire, and how can we impact the most amount of people, because we know like what we provide in our services, that it's going to help every person that walks in the door. So it's like, how can we just get the most amount of people, because we know we're going to change their lives when they come into our facility, and they commit to us and we commit to them, right?
It's just, the work is just mutually beneficial. The more you work, the more people you help, the better you feel. It's just kind of a...
Well, and you know, this kind of goes back to like your earlier question about like what got us like here. It's like one thing I love about the three of us together is that we all feel a need to pull our own weight. So like, yeah, I'm tired at 4 a.m. when I'm waking up, and like I have a child and a wife and all those things. Like I'm tired, but I'm also like, well, dude, Ben and Bryan are gonna be there.
Yeah.
But dude, Ben and Bryan are doing this every day with me. Like, do I really think that I'm like by myself? Like I'm all solo? Like this would not be possible without Ben and Bryan.
That's a great point, man. That's something that a lot of people have. I think it's tough for a lot of people when they're trying to build something, is finding that person or people that are 100% in. You know,
Yes.
like it's very hard to. You obviously can do it, right? You can do it by yourself, I guess. Anybody could do it if you put your
Really
mind to
drive,
it, whatever. Yeah, but when you have a team, you have somebody else that's in it with you, in the fire with you, it makes it so much easier. It makes it.
Yeah.
You look at somebody else and they're grinding with you, bro.
I just feel like we're ahead because we have like the different opinions. Like me and Bryan and Ben's personalities are all so different.
So different, yeah.
Like so different. Like how Bryan like will go through conflict versus me versus Ben, and overall too, like just like setting up this weight room, there was like a moment where we were trying to set all these mats down like Tetris, dude. And we were about to start cutting mats and like doing all this whole thing. And then Ben was like, dude, I have this great idea. Let's just slide it all over this
he's
way.
like, just do this.
Let's just do this. And then we have to do, and I was like, Ben, you're a freaking genius, bro. Because he saved us hours of time and hundreds of dollars.
It's so good, though, because you could get tunnel vision, too, when you're walking on something.
Yeah.
It's like me and Robbie had tunnel vision.
Gotta go this way.
Okay,
gotta go this way.
but then that one different perspective, like all the pieces align. And I think not only with just the mats, right? But I think in everything. everything. Like, that's how it works.
How do we market this?
Yeah.
When do we hold this next camp? Like, it's all these very, very just like, it seems like a simple question, but like you overthink these things because like we're really shooting, like I told you before we started this, like we're here to take over the world. Like I say that like a joke, but I really mean it. Like, we're here to take over. Like,
true.
We're 100% dialed in to giving our and honestly, like I don't like. Of course, we want to make money, but I don't think any of us were like, dude, let's make millions opening a gym.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was like, let's help people.
That's definitely not the conversation.
Let's help people. So all of a sudden, it's like that's our intention, and I really do believe that, like, with us just checking ourselves and having that intention of just putting the client or the customer first, like, everything else will come.
Yeah.
Right. Everything else will come.
But you got to give before you get. So.
And that's the biggest deal, is not be focused on the money, bro. I know money is super. We're paying $8 in fucking gas. I know money's important, bro. I get it. I understand, but
man,
it's not all. It's not everything, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
more money, more problems.
Yeah, but especially you as a dad, bro. Like, you gotta know, like, there's just things that are more important than the dollar.
There are, dude. And I think too, the biggest thing you asked, like, oh, how do you stay motivated, dude? I've worked other jobs, man, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Yep.
That restaurant life.
I mean, and it's like, dude, the restaurant life gave me a lot of money, and it gave me an opportunity to do this and get paid $0 from this, so I could be able to subsidize. We didn't get paid for a year. You know what I mean? We waited really until like last month or 2 months ago to finally start paying ourselves. And so, like,
just kept investing in the business.
But I knew it was like, I'm making money from the restaurant, but I do not want to be there. That's for damn show.
Yeah.
Because it's just not my environment. Like, I don't care what restaurant it is. Like, it's just not my environment. And then I realized, like, being in here and feeling like I'm helping somebody and changing their life. I was like, oh, bro, this is where I want to be. I'll wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I'll wake up at 4 a.m. every day. No big deal. You know what I mean? So just perspective. And I think
makes it easy when you love it so much.
It's really easy when you love it that much.
Yeah, bro.
But it has its hard days for sure.
I think that's the big thing. You gotta get through those shitty jobs, bro, or those shitty days. Like, I've worked for a moving company, man. I've worked moving furniture.
Hard labor
out here in the desert, man. You're moving people
in the summer,
bro. In the summer, bro. You're in the moving truck. It's like 140 plus in that moving truck,
that's
bro.
awful, dude.
And you learn, bro, like the nice chill jobs are nice, you know, or like this, you're helping somebody out, you're coaching. I'm coaching my son in football, bro. Like, I enjoy that, bro. I do that shit every fucking day.
You learn exactly what you don't want to do.
Yes,
I've definitely done my fair share of that. Yeah. I think these guys have too.
Oh,
so
sure.
Yeah, it's there's so much learning and reflection, and I think I always just remind myself that, you know, when I'm going through a little funk, right? We always like. Yeah, I love my job, but there's times where I'm tired and I want to go home, right?
Yeah.
But you just remind yourself, like, dude, don't forget, like, the things you used to say when you were working that other job. And, like, one book that we've, like, all read, it's this book called Hard Times Create Strong Men. And just a book on how to be a freaking man. But regardless, like... Regardless, he always read it. Stephen Arnott.
Read it. Be a man.
Yes, you should definitely read it. It's probably the best book I've ever read. But regardless, he always says
it's on Audible.
It is on Audible, and he's a good freaking
listen to it too.
Good author to listen to. But regardless, he always says, like, dude, if you don't like your job, then sorry, sucks to suck, dude. Like, this is life for a lot of people. Like, you may not like your job for a long time. But you have to at least be thinking in the back of your head, like, okay, so I don't like this job, but what am I going to do with this money from this job so that I can get myself out of here? Right?
What
like,
are the next steps?
What's the stepping stone, right? Like, how do I get there? And that's what we were thinking the whole time is, like, this is just temporary. This is just so that we can be able to subsidize and fund our own business so it can grow. And so we've just done that little by little.
I think people have a hard time, and I don't know if it's a step back, but taking a step back to take 10 steps forward. You
Yeah.
know, like oh, I don't want to fucking get away from. You
Yeah.
know,
It's hard.
That's a good quote right there. I like that. Taking one step back to be able to take 10 steps forward. Sometimes you need to just step back a little bit and think about your current situation and reflect a little bit on like what's the best decision for you moving forward, rather than like what instantly is gratifying.
Exactly.
Right. You
Like
know?
the gym you guys were at. I don't know what happened, but obviously you guys took a step back. You guys, you know,
Didn't even think about opening a gym for a
recuperated,
while,
kind of
Yeah.
recentered, figured out what you guys wanted to do, figured out another job, obviously job you guys didn't want to do,
I mean,
and then
Ben-
you guys are here, bro, and you guys are fucking.
Ben was like, dude, we should start our own gym. I was like, Ben,
Wait,
have
really?
you lost your mind? I was like, dude, first
What are
of
you
all,
talking about,
do you know
bro?
how much like equipment is, dude?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, in shipping, like I had done the littlest amount of research on looking at equipment, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like, we need to win the lottery 3 times over if we're gonna have enough money. Right?
Yeah,
This guy in the lottery.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
We're always talking about the lottery. We're not winning the lottery, Rob.
But it just shows.
People
Like,
used to ask me, bro, like what year. I was like, I'm gonna win the lottery. It's not gonna happen. That's what my plan was, bro.
Well,
That's
it
not
shows-
gonna happen,
come on.
but you know.
it shows our motivation though, because I always say to Brian, like, dude, all we got to do is win the lottery, bro, and we're in a 7,000 square foot warehouse. We get all the
I'm
equipment.
like, no, we don't need it.
And he's like, dude, we don't need it. We're gonna do it the hard way. You know what I mean? So just persevere.
I'm serious, dude.
blood, sweat, and
started with
tears.
the
That's
bro.
the fun part though too. When you have that struggle and that hardship, like that's what makes it so fulfilling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I
It's the
think, too.
journey, man. People
We've
get
seen that
so
a little bit,
focused on
yeah.
the destination, bro. And what there is no destination. It's
Yeah.
fucking. It's all a
Just
journey.
keep going.
We have no clue because imagine like 3 years from now, we have no clue like
Literally
where
where
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
be,
be.
right? Like
Yeah.
hopefully we have a big place and multiple places, right? But like we don't know what's gonna happen 3-5 years from now, right? So
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's
and
just
then-
one day at a time.
Ben just brought up the hallway, which is like people see us in this space,
Dude,
which
yeah.
is small. Like this is not like the size of a normal
It's
gym
yellow
by
pole,
any means.
dude.
This is what we're rolling with here. But this whole space used to be cut in half.
Yeah.
Like we were in what we call the hallway. Like it's almost like embarrassing to think.
I
to look
remember
back.
seeing when you guys were first doing it,
Yeah.
and it was
I can't even believe we did that.
Can't believe
fucking
Yeah.
small,
It's
dude.
so small, but it was
Yeah.
like, hey, we need to just like get off the ground and like start something. But we really didn't want an outside investor. We didn't want any debt. We didn't want any loans. So the only way we could do this was just starting small. And it felt like, at the time, it just felt like, oh, I just really wanted to be able to give like the customer what like I think is a good service, right?
Yeah.
In a good, in a big place with way better equipment and all this space. But in my head was just like, dude, we can't we can't make it to our end goal of fulfilling all the goals of this business without being in a ton of debt.
Yeah.
And all these
Just
like
fucking us
hands.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
People, yeah,
like right, if
absolutely.
we could just get through this hump here and we could just get on the ground and get our feet moving, I think we'll be better off. Which is what we've been able to do. But then again, like we just try to stay humble. It's like we're about to go through a recession. You know what I mean? The inflation is so high right now, and
Big
so
point, bro.
we're gonna just keep just chugging along, man.
Yeah.
Because the more, and honestly, think about it. Like
I've
the more
been-
you have, the more you're fearful of losing, right? So like right now, we're still rolling. We're still getting started. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful that like we're just
Very
trying to
normal, yeah.
learn and grasp all these concepts. You know?
That's a great point. We are about to hit a recession, bro. I've been hearing it on multiple podcasts, and the soft
It's
landing
Yep.
Yeah.
isn't gonna happen.
No.
Bro. It's gonna be a
Whoop,
hard
bam,
slam.
right
yeah.
in our face. Yeah.
Punches the face.
So
Yeah,
that's-
pretty much. But it's just going to be interesting because, I mean, what we're going to really identify, and so one thing that Brian has, one thing he always says, it's such a good quote, is like, how much is your health worth to you? Like, oh,
I ask that to people.
training
a
is
lot.
expensive, right? Because it is, dude. It's like
Yeah.
our personal hour where we're spending every single solitary second trying to improve your quality of life. Like, but of course, like I don't think people think of it that way, so we have to kind of rephrase the question a few times. But that's one thing Brian always says. Well, how much does your health mean to you?
Yeah.
Like, how much will you pay for that? Right? Because a lot of people would say, oh, well, your health and your overall livelihood is like
Everything.
It should
it's
be
everything.
number one,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's almost like it has no dollar amount you can match to it. So it's like, okay, so
This is why you worried about this couple $100 bucks, right?
Yeah, and then again, it's like it goes back. Well, it's like I got this, and dude, we're super understanding, man. Like the more we just continue to learn about these families, we're like, wow, they're really like supporting us when they have this going on in their life. Like,
Yeah.
man, I just can't like, and that's why we always just like so much love and thanks to like our
All the
customers and
clients,
clients, dude.
That must mean a lot to
the
you
best.
guys, knowing what they're going through, and they still believe in you guys. To,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the reason
Show
why
up.
we're able to do this, man,
we're
and
still
have
so
this
young,
space, and so all the thanks to them, man. It wouldn't be possible if they weren't showing up. So
Yeah, true.
you guys have any big plans coming up this next year or through this recession? Are you gonna do
recession? Any big plans before it all goes to shit?
What you gonna fucking expand through it, bro?
Yeah.
You gonna?
Well,
man.
currently right now, we like the space that we're in. We've only been in this expanded space for
2 months,
3 months.
Yeah.
So the goal right now is just maximizing what we have, right? Like instead of just trying
Honestly,
to
the space is pretty nice, bro.
Yeah.
You got plenty of room and you got plenty of shit to do.
yeah,
like
and we can get about
multiple
15
squat
people
racks.
in here, 15, 16 people in a class. So, I mean, we get plenty of bodies in here. And, of course, we have so much space around us that we utilize, like, for carries, we'll head in this cage over here, or, hey, we're going to do some corrective, like, body weight stuff only, like, you're going to be in this cage. So we're able to spread it out. But right now, for us, it's just, like, we just need to just really establish, like, our clientele and our business
brand.
model, our brand, getting everybody in the Valley to know, like, oh, if you're in pain, you go to Prime Performance and Wellness.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want your athlete to be better, then go to Prime Performance and Wellness. Like, oh, like I just want to get stronger, go to Prime Performance and Wellness. Like, hopefully that is just going to be echoed throughout the Valley till the end of time. You know what I mean? And that would be like a good way to establish ourselves.
Time. I like
You know what I
that.
mean?
I know,
Go to Prime.
That's so true,
to
though.
Prime.
I think it's just, I think what we're actually doing really well at, too, as young adults is, like, we're taking it day by day, and we need to think, like, okay, just another day at a time. Like, where are we at?
Don't get too
like,
far
we're
ahead.
not gonna,
Don't get.
Win
We're
today.
not going to get caught up, like,
Slow
years
and
down the
steady.
road, right? Slow and steady wins the race.
You guys
So,
were talking about people call you their like therapists. Some of you guys, people that you train.
I feel honored when I
What do
hear that,
you? What do you guys do for your own therapy to keep you guys?
That's a good question.
You know.
Question.
That's a
No
good-
one ever
yeah,
asked
'cause
us
we-
this.
Yeah, I know. We're getting nasty
yeah.
now.
What makes you guys feel
Yeah,
down?
yeah.
You
So
know?
Ben and I
Guys, we
are
lift weights.
we have a hobby of
play
fishing.
spike ball.
So a lot of times
There we go.
I'll go out of town and do some fishing. I think that's how I relieve some of my stress. And then of course, living in a gym, we work out a lot, and goes back to the following question. But one of those habits that we have all created is like, okay, well, when's our time to lift? Like, we need to get that time in so that we're staying healthy and that we can provide our clients with the best service, right? Because if we're not healthy, then how are we supposed to provide that service to other people?
That's a great point.
So
Man,
yeah.
lifting every day, bro. I feel like if you miss a lift, it makes you feel so much. Just feel shitty, bro. If
Yeah.
you're missing that.
Yeah.
I at least got to do 3 or 4 a week,
Yeah.
but not every day for me because it's just business.
Well, he's
but-
smart. He's
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
He's probably doing it the right way. I'm lifting every day. I'm killing my body,
That's
bro.
why you're so yoked, dude.
Oh, stop, bro.
Flex it on the camera.
No, I don't know. I still got a belly.
I feel like
we all?
I feel like the lifting
beer
itself is therapeutic, but I think the one thing we could probably agree on.
It was good, bro. We got people up in here, man.
Yeah, let them know what's up. But anyway, we've started to realize like that the time that we'll spend like doing like, hey, we're gonna go over here for the weekend, or go to Big Bear for the weekend, and just do like a Prime trip. Like all those things that we've been able to do for ourselves over the past few months has been so like refreshing, because it's like not
Yeah.
only do we have to do business well together, but like we need to keep our relationship with each other really cool and very molded together, very strong. So like we're just trying to prioritize like not always spending our free time with each other, but if we can, let's have those like every few months, those moments where we're like, hey, let's do this trip together, let's have some team bonding and stuff like that. And to me, like that seems like to be the most therapeutic. Of course, I like killing myself in the weight room. That's always fun, but there's got to be another way. And of course, having a family and stuff like that, it's always good to just get out.
I think that's like a long-term look at it too. It's like, okay, how can we sustain this business for a long period of time like we all want? It's like, okay, we all got to be cool with each other, right?
Definitely gotta
we
care
have to
about
be
each
able,
other.
yeah, and
Right.
we have to be able to, take those moments to slow down and like smell the flowers, they say, right? So I think we're doing a decent job of doing that too. It's just like, let's take a step back and have some fun as brothers and as a family.
Yeah.
So, and then that really just shoots back into our business.
Oh,
How can people reach you? Reach your guys' gym? How can they find you guys? Is there? You guys got a website?
Yeah, so we just built a new website. It went live on Friday, so that's up and running. All you gotta do is click the link in our bio.
That's crazy. I was just checking out this
Yeah.
weekend, bro. I was just checking out. I was all fucking like, oh damn, you guys are all professional.
They're doing it.
Yeah. So now we got an app. So now if you wanna to go online and book some sessions online, you can. You can buy time with Bryan. You can buy time with Robbie. You can
got
set
an
us
app.
up on also Google, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. So we're on all those. So you just
Yeah.
gotta hit us up. You can hit us up on
Are they all Prime Performance and Wellness?
All
Yeah.
Prime
Yeah.
Performance and Wellness, yeah. So you just hit us up
Yeah,
that
this
way.
dude works day and night to make sure that everyone, like, it's so funny. Our clients come in and I already know we're hitting pull-ups today.
I'm like, what do you mean, dude?
Because
What
I
are you
saw-
talking
I'm
about?
like, dude,
oh my God,
I'm
it's
like,
my favorite
Ben's so
day.
on top of it. They
Yeah.
come in like 5 minutes after it's posted, and they're already like,
I can
telling
tell,
us.
bro. This
Like,
guy's
yes.
the analytical. He's
Yeah.
fucking doing all the numbers, bro.
He's got it all
got
down.
All of us.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very valuable spot that he holds for us. Like
Yeah.
I said to you, it's social media is how we communicate, just
Yeah.
period. So it's been a good process for us. But yeah, anyone can reach out to us on social media or online
On our website, yeah.
website.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate having you guys in again. Robbie,
appreciate you.
Ben, Brian,
Thank
Prime
you.
Performance and Wellness. Man,
Yes,
great
sir.
episode, bro. I appreciate you guys.
Oh.